So where are these pro-blacks now? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, Reason. And as always, I'm very grateful for those who watch. But after the Karmelo Anthony case ended and he was found guilty of murder one and he was sentenced to 35 years, again, I have no idea what he should have been sentenced because I'm just not knowledgeable in that area. I'll leave that up to people who do know. But all these pro-blacks have been crying for the release of the video. Right, the video that they showed in the court, the video that so many of these black people claim that they saw, and have been speaking all these lies about the video, of what the lies of what they saw. They say that the video was being hidden because they knew it was going to show that Karmelo Anthony was innocent. He operated in self-defense and he had justification for the use of deadly force. It was so bad they even released that fake video, telling us that we supposedly saw what we didn't see. It's like 1984, and they were holding up 4 fingers and trying to convince us that we saw 3 or something. Like, people are stupid. Well, the video has now been released, of course, and the video clearly shows that Karmelo Anthony, like I say, didn't operate self-defense. He had no justification for the use of deadly force. Okay. If you watch the video, and like I said, the evidence is very fuzzy because you have to zoom in. You have to zoom in so it's blurry, but you are able to see, zoom in enough to see what transpired. Nobody ganged up on him. Nobody ganged up on him. It was just between Austin and Karmelo. And you can see Austin pushed Karmelo, and then Karmelo stabbed him, and then ran out the top of the tent, escaped out, left the top part of the tent, and then ran. So he couldn't have been surrounded. He couldn't have been ganged upon. He couldn't have been surrounded if he was so easily able to run out the top part of the tent and run down to the walking part of the bleachers and ran. So now the question I have, though, is where are all these freaking pro-blacks at now, who were telling all these goddamn lies, who were saying that the racism, surprise, racism, and more racism, because that's all they cried at the system and justice and all this other BS. Where are these fools at? Right? Where are these idiots talking about the case shouldn't have happened in a racist county, right? Mind you, the same quote unquote racist county that the Karmelo Anthony, the Anthony family moved to from Baton Rouge to Texas. And not only did they move there, they took some of the GoFundMe money and bought a bigger house there. So you buy a bigger house in a racist county. Well, where are these pro-black? Right? Where's the dude? Remember this dude, the dude who supposedly claimed he saw the video? Where's that nigga now? Where is he at? I need to ask him some questions like, where's this fool? Show me where in this video did you see Karmelo Anthony get jumped? Show me what part of the video was so clear that you were able to see raindrops. Right? Show me exactly the student who attempted to try to distract the coach. This dude was just lying his ass off and going to town. And it was clear. You know, everybody was saying it was capped. The only people who believed this were the blacks who wanted to believe it. But clearly this dude was lying. He just making this stuff as he went. Right? Where's Tariq Nasheed? Yeah, where is Tariq, nigga, please? Because he also had so much to say. I want to hear Tariq Nasheed come out and say that he was wrong and what the video clearly shows. Again, it's blurry, but you can see what happened. Right? Where's Dr. Ono Johnson? Right? With this foolishness about the fell on the knife nonsense. Where is he at? You know, we suspect he fell on the knife. He fell on the knife. He fell on the knife. Where is this nigga? Where is that nigga at now? That's who I need to hear these fools, right? Now, like, where's Silly D? Where's Silly D dumbass at? Right? The one who came out and promoted that fake video that showed after looked like it was more in the shipyard than the damn a stadium. Where's Willie D at? I'm just, and the worst part about it, these niggas are still lying and denying. So they lack integrity. These people absolutely lack integrity, because if the video would have showed that everything that they say was true, and that Karmelo Anthony really truly operated self-defense and he was justified for the use of deadly force because they were beating him and stomping him, they would be speaking loud and proud about this, right? You would never hear the end of it. And us conservatives, we will be here too saying, well, we were wrong. Karmelo Anthony was justified in deadly use of force, because here's the evidence, because we operate based off what the evidence tells us. We would have been here doing that. None of these niggas are here saying that they were wrong. None of them. This is why, like I say, this is why, one of the reasons why pro-blacks are just looking more and more silly, and why I'm just of the standpoint right now, if you know, look, America, love it or leave it. I said this before. If you got a problem with America, then no, just leave. You don't have to be here. You cry about, quote unquote, that, well, this country was built off our backs. No, the country, everybody built this country. America was built off everybody's back. Everybody rolled up their sleeves and got to work and built this country, not just slaves. And if you believe that foolishness, then go build something else off your back. Because if you can build one country off your back, you can build another one. Why be here always crying and being a victim? Just leave. Of course, you know they're not going to do that, because they're full of crap. You remember Dr. Umar Johnson went all the way to Ghana, quote unquote, got his Ghana citizenship. And what the nigga did, came back. Why? Because the money's here. The school that's never going to open is here. Anyway, we now have the video. The video has been released. We have the facts, evidence, and the data. Now we have the real evidence in this video, which showed us what happened. And more evidence that the jury was right. Karmelo Anthony was guilty. No, sad to see a young man lose his life and another young man lose his freedom. Unfortunately, that's just what happens. It's life. But we know the truth now. Anyway, y'all, as always, until next time,